there's that many people working for this.
At that time, actually, I fucking record. Are you deadlifting?
Sure.
What kind of weight you want to start with?
Probably just bar.
Okay. Well then, this will be I wonder how we can. It's kind of weird to pull from the incorrect distance. Maybe it'd be better to pull off the rack. It's just like an inch lower is about where. No, it doesn't go that way. You can just take it off. It's how many inches is that off the ground? Like 4.5. Anyway, if you want to pull conventional, you just want however the longest you can get your arms, essentially shoulder width, and then you grip it. You get the foot stance is always, the best way of explaining it is if you were to jump. If you're thinking about jumping, that's your foot stance. Like, so the explosiveness that you want right there. And then the way that everyone's leverages are going to be different. See, I kind of start in front of the bar, but that's because I lean back like this. And right here, as soon as I feel that I'm in my back straight and all that, I just thrust with my waist or hips. The main thing is to keep your lower back tight. Yeah. Even if it's not straight, as long as you're putting that resistance, it's okay.
Yeah, you never want to be lifting with your back.
A lot of people do that. It's really dumb. Even if you don't feel that initial snap, you probably grinded on something, which is never good. Alright, we'll go ahead and try with the bar. Can you get in a yeah, you should be okay. It's kind of weird starting off, but we'll put some plates on there and I think it should be okay. And remember, knees never cave in no matter what.
What do you mean cave in?
Don't ever.
Oh,
Never
like that.
here. Yeah. Is that if you were to jump, is that it? Like, think about jumping.
Yeah.
It's usually right under your hips, so that looks about right. Like, your heels are right under your hips.
Yeah, and then my feet are kind of like shoulder length apart, which is how I was told.
Yep.
You should also prepare for this. Alright, so I'm extremely rusty on this. It's... I don't want to move my back too much.
If you're thinking about lowering it,
yeah.
You stick your butt out, and then knees down as soon as it passes the knees.
Yeah, but that's wrong. Like that?
Well, yeah, you can't do butt yet. You see how my knees don't move? You can't do that yet, but just keep practicing that. Your hamstrings also might be too tight, you know?
Yeah, they're still kind of sore from the squat back.
Yeah, see, can you use your hip as the hinge and not your knees? So what I mean is, don't move your knees and just bench straight.
Yeah, this is the problem I had when my brother was trying to teach me how to. I couldn't quite do it.
We might not even worry about deadlifts. What we should do then is hip hinges. And hip hinges, all you need is something like a wall over here. And then what I would do is take like a good set, or not even that shit. For your first one, just do this. Just do a foot's worth away. And then try to, I know this seems really lame.
Alright, kind of like the unweighted squats.
Exactly, but the goal, squats, your knees can come forward.
Yeah, the goal is to use your hips.
Think about what you're doing is trying to touch the wall with your butt.
Alright.
It's like a back squat. That'll teach you how to back squat too really well.
I'll just be doing that thing.
Yeah,
in my corner.
The hip hinge is the deadlift, actually. There's really not much else going on besides keeping everything else tight. And I didn't even know about hip hinges and all that when I first started. I was just using my lower back and just wee. And I did end up hurting my back pretty bad. But it feels, what the fuck am I doing? I wanted to get over there. Nope, I saw your knees. Think about, nope.
No. Yeah.
Here, get on your heels, there you go. And just thrust your, but you gotta bend the knees.
So I do bend the knees.
You gotta unhinge them. There you go. Yep. There you go. It's a weird, dude, I don't know how to sit down. Like when they were telling me how to back squat, they said, do like you're sitting down. And I'm like, using my knees. And they're like, what? And I'm like, that's how I sit down. I never have sat down like that. But apparently that's how you're supposed to sit down. I never knew. This will be my first tutor. Hope your knees still come very far forward.
Well, I'm pushing forward by. I don't want to hit the wall for some reason, even though it's not like.
Try to bash it with your butt.
Well, that was trying to bash it with my butt. That's.
Yep. But, okay, see at the same time, let's try to keep the shoulder with the knee.
Shoulder with the knee?
Mm-hmm. Because you're kind of.
So like this?
Oh, yes. See, you were kind of like using your back as a way to get your butt back. That was perfect. That's what you're doing. You're collapsing your hip. So the knee does not create an angle. Only the hip. Yep. See how you're closing that angle? That's good. What a weird weight.
What do you need?
165? I've never loaded that. That would be that and that. I'll just take all those.
Alright.
Because I'll use them. Thank you, sir. I'm doing the safety bar squat, side bend, which are really good for your oblique, since you won't be deadlifting yet. Or your obliques, I should say.
Now you're just going to work one.
Yeah.
Have that side be ripped and have the other side just flat.
And good mornings, which will teach the hip hinge really well. And an important thing too when you're setting up is to put the bar over the midfoot, which is, a lot of people think that's like right here. But that's the middle of the foot. You can see you still have a whole foot right here. So it's literally like an inch off your shin is your midfoot. That's where the weight likes to stay. And also, I know some people do them, but I really don't like bouncing repetitions. Like, I think you should always let the momentum stop and then
Yeah.
Even stop and reset if you need to. A lot of people don't realize that the deadlift, the whole point of it is that dead stop. And going off of that. When you bounce it, you use the momentum of your body and all that. Just kind of defeats the purpose. And when you're doing, if you can, like when you wake up in the mornings, especially if it's not a leg day, and before you go to sleep, try to get down that squat and put in your, and you can take a really wide stance and even, feet out and try to spread, because that's going to allow your groin to open up, which will allow you to start using your hips.
Alright.
I know that sounds weird, but your groin won't let you use your hips until you loosen it, because it's constantly pulling your legs like this. Alright, working. Did you want to try any of these, like just 135 or?
No, I need to do this because I'm feeling a little burned just by doing it.
Yeah. It's a movement pattern I was not familiar with.
Yeah, I don't even really have a motion to sit down. I just kind of flop.
Yeah, that's how and it was really hard to explain that to people. I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, I just flop to the fucking floor when y'all say just sit back. And then while I was doing squats, my dad explained to me, like we had like my maximum weight on there, and he was just kind of like holding it with his hand, pulling my hips back, and he's like, sit, stand, sit. I'm like, didn't even have the weight on me anymore. I was like, this is really awkward. Thanks, Howard.
What do you need?
45. I was gonna come in fucking sweatpants too.
Yeah. And humid because it's raining.
And I might turn on the AC here in a sec once I start doing my work. I'm gonna use those bad boys on my final one. Because I'm pretty sure I can do 3 just fine, but I'm gonna shoot for like 9. And that sucks. Get your grip down. It's the weirdest feeling in the world. When your grip gives out, your back is like, you're not supposed to be picking that up. You're not fucking strong enough. So it's just like you can't get it to tighten up. But when you have straps, your body's just like, oh, okay. Or if you use a mixed grip.
Have you tried using workout clubs?
No. I don't know. It's never friction that's an issue. It's my left hand just.
Actual mechanics.
It's the thumb too. When you're holding it like this, it's rolling towards your thumbs the whole time. Because your finger, if you have 4 fingers, they're not going anywhere. And I started doing a hook grip, and that's why I have this bruise. It works, but it's fucking painful. What it is how this is how you do it normally.
Yeah.
You put your thumb under there and you scoop your fingers underneath, so there's nowhere for the bar to go. But all the weight sits on your thumb.
That's a good way to break your thumb.
I don't know if you can break it. I've never heard of anyone breaking it. I know all Olympic lifters do it because when you're freaking throwing 500 pounds overhead, you cannot let that thing go anywhere. You just can't. but they're doing 1 rep and then stopping, so it's like, it is really painful, but it's better than dropping the weight up or down. Alright, let's start doing some rested time. I'll do 3 minutes. We're just gonna do 290 today. That's my max. You gotta make sure that 2.5 space in that way, don't wanna drop it. And make sure my fingers can hold it. You'll hear me doing that a lot too. That's the balsa maneuver I was telling you about. It takes a long time to be able to not hold it up here. If you hold it up here, it starts to hurt really bad because you're putting a lot of pressure on your lungs instead of your diaphragm. Not your lungs, I don't know what that is. Your esophagus, I guess? Right here?
Yeah.
If you're holding it up here, it's gonna feel like a motherfucker when you got a lot of weight. But if you're holding it down here, you don't even feel it. But it gives your stomach something to push against. And it creates a lot of, I think they call it inter-abdominal pressure. It's nice. Everything's tight. Everyone has a natural weight belt. But eventually you get to weights where it's just smarter to wear a belt. So your abs have something to push against. I'm not at that weight yet. A good way to train the opposite direction of the hip hinge is to do bridges, glute bridges, which essentially is just laying down, trying to pull your feet as close as you can to you while you're on the floor, and thrusting up in the air.
Right.
And that's just with body weight. That's really important, learning how to activate your butt, especially on like squats and stuff, because that's what protects your lower back. Your front, everyone knows how to flex their stomach because they've been doing it forever. Like, yeah. But the back thing, like, I can't really flex my lower back, but I can squeeze my butt and it flexes it for me. You want like a towel or something to wipe it down?
No, I'll shower after.
This is really long too. Well, I'm just talking about from the grit, so you're not grinding it into your skin.
Alright, so the only bridges I've done are back, like your back to the...
So what you'll do is, you'll just get on the ground, and then try to get your, see my hamstrings are really tight. So about right there is where I can go.
And then just thrust up, alright.
Yeah, and then as you get better, you won't use your arms. You'll start you'll start holding your ears, which I know sounds lame, and then you'll get, and all you're doing is that. And then the tighter you can get everything, the better, the harder it is, but. And really just focus on what you're doing. Like the squeezing of the butt and the stomach too. And then just try to go as high as you can. Is that working for you?
Yeah, I just completed one set, so I'm resting.
We're at like, can you feel your butt? And
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else I felt. It was mainly just my butt.
Yeah, I'm trying to use my butt muscles.
Yep.
For
that
final bit of the set.
And then yeah, that's essentially it. You hip hinge back, grip hard, and you'll have to learn how to retract your scapulas and keep your, just like the bench, remember keeping the shoulders back and under, same thing, because that will fuck your shit up. And you will be doing enough, like light enough weight where you're gonna want to use your biceps and everything, but you gotta slowly teach yourself not to.
Yeah, just let your arms kind of hang.
Exactly. And everything against you wants to use your upper body, but your upper body ain't shit compared to your legs when you start really training them. My upper body was way ahead of my legs for a long, because that's all I did. Push-ups and shit. Body weight squats don't give enough stimulation. You want to do safety bar? Or you want to stick with maybe, since I want to use the bar, you want to use that?
For what?
Squats.
I'll just see how you do them and then show you.
I need to take those off. You can just leave those there too. It's officially hot. And that makes this really easy. I'll just put that quick.
Oh, I don't know doing it.
What's up?
I was gonna step down on it so it would be easier for you to pull up.
Oh, gosh. I was just not angling it. Fine. Man, I used to do a lot of deadlifts. I like this new program. Yeah, one set of a lot. You want to try this guy?
Sure.
Okay, so, oh, let me make sure. Now, if you look from the side, I'll show you real quick. So it's the same thing as the squat, except you don't have to worry about bar placement. You just get under it, push yourself against it, get under it, big breath, out. And the thing with this is you have to be pushing up, because instead of the weight being in the middle of your foot, it's in front of you. And you gotta be, when you squat, you can't have your elbows here, because you'll smash against yourself. So just a little bit, not like flare, but about right here, and you're gonna be pushing up if there's weight here. And you can't back squat with this, because you'll get crushed. It'll dominate your abdominal wall because the weight's so far forward. So this is just like a high bar squat, which you like to use your knees. That's what this is. You don't break from the hips, you break from the knees, and if you have to, lean a little bit forward, but the more forward you lean,
The
with this bar,
yeah.
further it wants to fuck you up. So just control down, knees out, and you're just gonna have to work with your mobility. So if you can't go all the way down, don't force it. Just go until it stops you. And for here, that's me, or vice versa. For me, that's here. And I know this feels like it's gonna hit here, but you're like this, so it's nowhere near it. These are gonna suck. Get under it. There you go.
Okay.
Step back, just tiny bit. You're good.
So
You break from the knee. Oh yeah. You feel that shaking?
yeah.
I'm gonna have that too. That's what it does. It's forcing your torso to go forward. So you're having to fight against it. You might want to take a wider stance because it's looking like your waist can't get down.
I wouldn't do that if that was actually right.
And then knees. Think about, you gotta really tell yourself, show my dick to this wall. Like as far as you can, put those knees out. Yeah, your ankle's collapsing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. Actually, I didn't realize that your ankle's collapsed right now. You put it there. You're good. Your ankle's completely collapsed. Right here.
I think I was trying to go too low.
No. Even right now, do you see how this is jutted like in? Okay. Here's how to fix that. I don't know how to fix it while walking, but while squatting, think about screwing your foot into the ground. So you're here. Look, this is what's happening. I can't even do it on purpose. Like here. So you see that? See how it's kind of like everything's here? Nothing should be there. So you got to think about screwing your knee out. So stick it to the ground and think about screwing it out. Do you feel the difference how that arc appears? Yeah.
Not really, but I'll replicate the motion.
See, if you go regular, you can. It's hard to explain. Yep, they're just collapsed and then screw it out. No, not necessarily. Not actually moving your foot, but thinking about into the ground and just the motion of screwing. And think about your hip opening up. Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yep. So like you're essentially, remember I was saying knees out? So instead of from here, think about it from a hip. Shoom. External rotation.
Alright.
You're always strongest externally rotating. Yeah, that's gonna be your ankle's not gonna be able to go down in a full squat. I don't know how to fix that. There's a way. There's mobility training for everything.
I'll look it up.
So essentially, because your knee is like placed here. Think about that. Your shin's placed here. So when you're squatting, there's no room. Like you can't go any further. Where if you're here, there's plenty of room for your ankle to open up. But you're like here with your foot, not your actual knee. That's crazy, man. I probably had the same thing. I didn't even think about it. I didn't know about that kind of stuff, so I just kept squatting. But the rotating, the screw yourself into the floor before you squat, really helps me.
Alright.
These things suck. We're just gonna do 10. Do some warm-ups. Okay, you know what? Fuck warm-ups. I'm hot. We'll do 100. I don't remember how much this thing weighs. So it needs a 10, a 5, and a 2.5. Watch this. I'm just gonna use this as a warm-up. Do 3 of these real quick. I might not do it on this one, but on the top set, you'll see. You know how you're shaking? The same thing has me. Like I don't shake on any squat, but this thing, I don't know. It's crazy. I like it though. Okay, do you see the? You're like kind of out here and trying to just use your lower back to lift it. You need to get under the bitch. So you're just straight driving up and you just step back. Instead of.
It kind of felt awkward because it was for your height, so I was.
Yeah. Oh well then. Well, I remember on the chest stuff, we need to do the same as me. But for this, your shoulders are probably a lot higher. So we'll do that. Okay, so the difference is, instead of just sitting here, I'm gonna think like I'm thinking about screwing my hips out. So literally, I can feel my groin try to do this. It like here's my legs, they're trying to do this. Externally rotate, and then my feet aren't even that super far out wide, but doing that will allow me to drop between my hips or my knees. That felt really light. Oh, well, I'm doing 8. Okay, that was just 1. I wanted to count that as 65, but I'll just count it as 45. Okay. 25 and 2.5. And clip it. And while you're doing weights, practice, because this is a lot of taking on and off. Practice when you're putting stuff on the ground, or where it's long, practice your hip hinge, because that's good to have weight in your hand. And you never want to lower weight with your back. Yes. I'm sure you know that. We can clip this guy in case I drop. Where the fuck is it? And if you feel recovered on like your back and your lats and your arms, you can do like the lat pull downs and stuff.
I was going to start doing lat pull downs because I didn't get to, not failure, but it didn't really seem like it did.
This machines are 10 times easier because it's you're not having to use your stabilizers and stuff. Yeah. So you do have to up the weight more. I know what you're saying. Oh, that was the craziest squat in the world.
Someone had to come up with that.
The safety bar?
Yeah, someone was like, you know what would be awesome? If the bar was curved.
And then distributed the weight forward. Oh, that one was easy.
What do you need?
I got it. It's just taking off this kind of thing. I like that what they do is they put a compound accessory that's the opposite. So like when you're doing deadlifts, you do a safety bar squat. When you're doing squats, you do a stiff-legged deadlift. But both of those are much lighter than their main lift, like versus your squat.
Yeah.
But it's so you're not banging on the same muscle over and over.
Which, unlike PVC, actually causes the muscle to be weaker.
Yeah, we're not all stands. You'd be surprised how many people work out just because of Dragon Ball Z. It's nuts. Yeah, especially steroids. I'm serious, dude. Like, so many people just want to be Goku and Trunks. Like, I wasn't even that into that show, but that's all they talk about. It's like their inspirations. Hi.
I think I'd be embarrassed to say that.
Say what? Oh, the Dragon Ball Z thing? Well, this is a very private. It's hard to get onto the board.
That's kind of like saying my inspiration's Machamp.
It's very much like it, just a generation later. That's true. It could be though. In fact, that's the one I'm gonna say. I'll be like, that dude wants to look like a champ. Where are you gonna get him there? Machamp. What was he originally? You probably didn't actually play. I played.
No, I played.
Machop?
Maybe. And then there was like the Hitman Lee or whatever.
He was cool. Hell yeah. I didn't like Naruto when it was filler. Then they made Shippuden, which was awesome, and then they turned it into fillers.
It's because they caught up to the manga.
Yeah, you were telling me that they have to say like 10 chapters behind, or maybe more, like 100.
So the story is actually pretty interesting if you read.
Yeah.
Or just do what I did and read the wiki. Some crazy shit happens.
I'm sure.
Want to tell you a spoiler?
But yeah, I don't have like.
Jiraiya dies.
Who?
Jiraiya dies.
Jiraiya.
Yeah.
Is that the sand dude?
Erison, the perverted mentor.
Oh wow.
He died.
His name's Jiraiya. He had some really, like, when I started watching Shippuden, they never showed his like real abilities. He's scary. Like, doesn't he copy, like completely copy you?
And the person that kills him is even more powerful.
Damn. Is he
It's the
someone I
leader
know?
of Akatsuki.
Who?
Akatsuki. Uchiha went to join
See,
them.
you're saying all this, but I know it from the characters. You know what I'm saying? Like the English. Like, you're saying it as you would say in English, but I just know how you spell it. It's like,
Well, Sasuke's brother joined Akatsuki.
okay.
The leader of Akatsuki killed Jiraiya.
Oh wow. I don't even remember who. I don't know if I ever actually saw who that was.
And what's funny is Itachi.
Mm-hmm.
He turns out to be a good guy for murdering his whole family. Like they were going to do a coup.
I think I remember that.
So that's really fucked.
Yeah.
So it's like an interesting storyline, but they have to stay behind the fucking manga, so it's a pain to watch the episodes. Like they can't have anyone die.
They constantly go on these missions because some fucking dog came with a letter. Seriously, it's so aggravating.
Could you imagine if something like Sarai, have they had to have like bullshit filler arcs?
Yeah.
I don't think I would have put up with it.
No. What is that one anime you haven't watched? I like fell really hard for it. It was like super drama. It was after Hellsing, it was after Noir. Fuck, I can't remember what it was about.
The only thing I can think of is Dot Hack.
No. This was like way more like grown up. It was insane.
Elfin Lead?
No, that was good though. Josh even watched that.
Yeah.
Which is fucking weird. Has anything come out for PAX? I saw the Blizzard's trading card game.
Yeah, that's basically it right now.
Alright, we're on level 6. Oh yeah, you're heavy.
The only thing I can think of is Juni Koki. 12 Kingdoms.
Oh, that was really good, but no. That was awesome though. That show was way longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but it needed to be that long.
Yeah. Well, because it was like campaigns. It was awesome. Alright, we're done with those. You want to do good mornings?
Probably not. I'll just watch you do them.
They are a bitch in the dick. My right knee always clicks. It doesn't hurt, but it always clicks. I don't know what that is. You can go ahead and grab that dude if you could.
Which is?
That guy right there.
Yep. Oh!
He's having a look. He's at 45.
Yep.
This had to be from like football or something.
Probably.
Like, hack squats have a place, but they put so much stress on the knee because you're never loading onto your ass or your hamstrings.
That's been bothering me.
Huh?
Thinking of like anime.
Oh man. It was like really fucking sad. Like there was that one where the girl dies, you know, she's sick. That one was good. That was good. That was a slice of life. This was like a mix of like slice of life meets some kind of. Oh, you know what's really good was I think Chris got me to watch it. The one where it got ruined by the end, where there's a statue shooting poison lasers.
Oh yeah, gods.
That was really good.
Except that end part when they realized they had to kill everyone off. They're like, we can't use any of these characters because they are in the manga. I know. Buddha with acid. And then it takes like 5 seconds for the girl to push the person out of the way.
Oh,
when she
shit.
could have just pulled the person out of the way.
Yeah.
And they go to die. So.
Awesome. I didn't get any of those safety bar spots.
Oh, nice.
Was I going low? Was my ass going low?
Yeah.
You never know because you can't like look down and be like, let me pull my spine completely out of its correct spot and rip my shit up. Okay, so good morning is just putting it on your. I like to put it on my low bar, which is here, and then you just hip hinge forward. And the first time I did this, I kept my legs like this, locked, which is bad apparently, because my knees fucking hurt afterwards, my hamstrings hurt. And then you just keep your back as straight as you can, hip hinge, and you try to get as low as you can, and then thrust forward. That's the good morning. The stress is for the lower back. And good mornings is the best way to bring your deadlift up. It's like strength is very important, form is very important, but learning how to create a super solid base, like I can't stress that enough for everything. All your lifts will go up if you learn how to do that. And now that I'm not walking my knees out, I'm gonna have to increase the weight. And I'm also not doing 50 fucking repetitions. I can't even, my reading comprehension is so dick.
You can work on that.
How? I think just read more.
Yeah.
I read a lot of forums and stuff, and
you need to read stories and stuff that you actually need to memorize.
Versus just shit.
Yep.
I might have to start doing that.
I have like 1,500 ebooks.
I just, it's really bad, but I just never have been interested in reading. Let me rephrase that. I was never really expected to read or told to read. Hey, I can see my butt. See my butt. Oh yeah. See how like the back is straight?
Yeah.
That's not how I started squatting. My shit, I can't even do it on purpose, but it's like this. Like, and your butt does a thing called butt winking. When your hamstrings can't flex enough, or be loose enough, essentially you start going down, and you'll do it too when you start going lower. Right here, your whole fucking hips turn up so your ass comes down. It's fucking weird looking. And you can't mimic it. It's like crazy.
And it's called butt leaking.
Yep. And it's very bad for your lower back. In fact, it's the reason why people think squats are bad for your back and your knees and all that shit. It's because people aren't flexible enough to do them. It's kind of like starting Taekwondo and trying to do a butterfly the first month. You fucking... Alright. The next thing I'm gonna do, which you should probably do, maybe with the 25, is alright, here you go. If this is too heavy, like make sure you have everything flexed. But I'm gonna be doing this with that guy. But you want to do 10 on each side, take a decently wide stance, and it's a little retarded, but don't move your hips. Like go around your hips.
Move your obliques.
Yep, and then pull against the other side. Oh, I'm so sore from that. And then just do 10 of those. And try not to use your shoulders. And then swap. And then take a break. And then do 20 more. And then 20 more. And then you're done. There you go. Try to isolate your hips as much as you can. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Yep. Do you think it's too heavy to do? Because you're going to do 60 total. You think you want to lower it to like 10 maybe?
Probably lower it.
Okay, just...
Well, I'll just put it up.
Man, you're going to like start deadlifting. And you're going to be fucking good to go before you have actually deadlifted. Ooh. I've hit my dome on that so many times. You know what's really bad? I used to deadlift right here. And I was doing like 260 at the time, which was going out. Back then it was like everything. And I got done and I just went, and everything just turned white for a second. And I was like, I just hit the ground right here and I was like, oh, what? And then you like wake up. That was scary.
Yeah, that's the concussion.
I don't know how people do the high bar. Oops. They bring their hands really close and they put it on their traps.
Yep.
It's squishing my shit. Fuck that.
I think you're...
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. You mash it in the back of your traps. I don't know. Low bar just feels right to me.
Well, then just do low bar.
Well, it's almost impossible to do quad dominant squats low bar because the shit's so far back. Oh, not bad. Except for little side gaps. These workouts are much faster without testing. I like it. I think I have one more workout, and then the workouts after that are going to be 1 rep plus maxes, and then I'll start my cut. Cuts are always depressing because you're just weaker. Not right away, but you don't recover. I can't find any like scientific evidence on bloat and like eating an acid or like salt and stuff, but I always feel so much stronger when I'm holding a shitload of water weight. Like just from being like poofy from eating like cheat meal that last day. I tried looking it up, but there's like nothing on it. Oh. I'm using my shoulder. I'm serious for doing all these like stabilizer exercises. You're never gonna have an issue with it, especially the front bar squat. I'm gonna get you to squat first now. You gonna need anything specific after this?
Hmm?
You gonna need anything specific after this?
Not specifically. Why?
Because I make waffles. If you ever want waffles, come on over. There's no flour in them. It's all oat flour. Like I grind up the oats into really fine flour. Or flour light. A lot of calories though. Sorry again, wait again. I'm just good. I'll start cutting so it really doesn't matter, I guess. I finally found the calories I need to eat. There's just more.
Yeah, I weigh 193 right now.
So I was heavier than you. Is this the heaviest you've been?
Yep. Because I'm actually eating.
Yeah, you used to never. Seriously, like, you would eat, but it'd be one time with us, which we only ate like 1 or 2 times a day anyway, but it was ridiculous amounts of food and really bad food. Not bad. There's no such thing as bad food. Really calorie dense food that was not filling. How about that? I guess that could be bad. So my last 3 games have all been Timo top, and I lost 2 of them. Well, I did awesome, except this last game. Other 2 games though, I was like a little. I just built like a bruiser, and he's retarded.
Yeah, he's.
Why can you play him as a bruiser?
Just because he works kind of like one. I mean, all he needs to do is attack. That's all bruisers do is attack.
Yeah.
So you give him some health and some damage, and
That snare is what does it, man. You get a little frozen.
frozen out.
Is frozen out the first one?
No, phage is the first one.
Phage, yeah. And then build it as a frozen out. Actually, frozen out doesn't exist anymore. It used to upgrade into an item. You could either build it in a Triforce, or you could build it into that thing that
No,
true
phage
damage.
is what you. Frozen out didn't build into anything other than frozen out.
No, phage build into frozen out. But didn't it used to do something where it would do true damage every hit?
Madrids didn't.
No. That was the percentage.
Yeah, there wasn't. I don't think there was an item that did.
I think there was. I think it took it away.
No, it was.
And it used to, because when Dominion came out, it was like, oh, you can build into this new item that does true damage, and then they brought that into Summoner's Rift, and then they took it out.
Because true damage is too good.
Yeah, Vayne still has it, but Vayne I've noticed is not that good early on at all. She sucks actually, but she is insane. She has steroids out the ass because she goes invisible every tumble. That's nuts for an ADC. Like absolutely nuts.
Her early game, if you can jump on her and make her play defensive and not get creep kills, she's. I mean, eventually later on when she does get levels, her true damage will fucking break her face.
She's one of the best carries. And it's like Twitch is a good carry-ish, but his level 2 and 3 are stupid. Like you can get a kill every time you're lane if you're support. Like there's nothing they can really do about it. That cat's getting ran all the fuck over. Fuck rain. Alright. That's the other side first. This is gonna absolutely suck. It doesn't really look like it's just.
No, it's gonna be raining tomorrow. Well.
That's a nice little rain. Well, just letting you know, man, I'm like, it sounds lame, but I'm proud of you. You've been coming out every time. That's pretty awesome. I've never had anyone make it like 3 in a row.
I have no reason not to come. So.
Well, neither does. Nobody has any reason not to.
Yeah, I know. It's just if I don't have a reason to not come, it's hard for me to.
Actually, you've always been kind of like that. Even if you're like not hungry or out, you'd always go out and just hang out. I'm the opposite. I say no to everybody. I'm like, I'd rather do nothing.
And this week's going to the gym.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for other people.
So here's something I would want to ask. Is it possible if we do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? My mom goes to yoga at night on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That way she can use my car to go to yoga because when I get back, she'll need to have left. It's not a big deal if we can't, like if we just keep doing every other day.
Well, yeah, that's just the best way I recover. But hold on, let me think. Like you're saying Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday.
Yeah.
Because she goes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's why I do the every other.
Well, that's fine. Like it's not.
What if I just pick you up? Because you're on the way back from work. I work off Marius off anchors. I don't know why I'm pointing there.
But then we have to stop back by my house.
Yeah, but you don't live that far from me, like at all.
It's like I said, it's not that big of a deal. I'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Alright. Well, I mean, you literally live like a mile and a half from my house. I live on like right off Robinwood. You probably drive past my house every time you come here.
I don't drive by. I take Memorial.
Need to get your computer to play some. This is the only